Good morning and welcome to English Lessons on Iman TV. In our lesson today, we're basically building vocabulary or words. So I'm going to teach you a lot of new words, but these words are in relation to a listening comprehension. So I created two paragraphs for you. All the new words will be used within that paragraph. So, but the main thing is what? That you will listen to the paragraph. But before you listen, I will teach you the words. So it's vocabulary or words in the context of listening comprehension. And then we will have discussions, questions. So I'd like you to also use this opportunity to talk. I'm going to read something to you, which is very familiar topic. You know a lot about it in Farsi, in Pashto, in other languages you speak, but I want you to use English, or I will give you words in English so that you can talk about this intelligently. And then at the end, we will have a review of irregular verbs. Remember, we finished all irregular verbs last week, but today I'm going to start reviewing them all from the beginning again because I need to remind you, bring it to your attention again and again and again, that they're very, very important. When you speak, you need to use those words. When you read, you see these words, and when you write, you use these words. So, and you need to use the correct form, the correct pronunciation, and the correct spelling. So let's start with the vocabulary. The first word, all of you like it, I'm sure. All of you use it. And what do you call this in English? The picture is very clear, and I'm sure a lot of you know the word for it in English. And it is called what? Rice. And I want you to look at the spelling, that if you write or make a list of something, then it's spelled as R-I-C-E, rice. So C-E makes the S sound, okay? Rice, like an ice. And then look at the next picture. What do you see here? This is called what? You see basically what? A plant. So this is rice plant. So before you see the rice on your plates, it comes from a plant like this. It's called rice plant. And you see this plant at different stages of growth. But please repeat, rice plant. Rice plant. What about this one? You see this everywhere. And that's called what? It's called grass, okay? Grass. And it includes a family of different types of plants, okay? Grass. How about this one? What do you see here? You see what? You see the map of the world in a different format, and it is called what? It's called globe. Within the globe, you see these areas here, like I said, South America, North America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and so what do you call these pieces of land, these large pieces of land? It's called what? It's called continent. One of them is called what? Continent. Like Asia is a continent. Africa is a continent. Together, you call them what? Continents. Continents. You put an S to make it plural. So it's a globe. The picture that you see is what? The globe, but it shows you what? Different continents. So please repeat after me. Globe. Globe. Continent. Continent. And then the plural, continents. Continents. I've seen you this picture before. People that they want to find new things, discover new things, and they go to the lab, try things, test things. What do you call these people? These people are called what? These people are called? Right. They are called, if my computer works, they are called scientists, okay? So please repeat, scientists. Scientists. So one person is called what? A scientist. Two of them are called what? Scientists. It could be a male or female. It doesn't matter. So I got the picture of two male scientists, but it could be two female scientists. So please repeat, scientists. scientists. What do you see here? You see these initials. N, it stands for north. W stands for what? West. And S stands for what? South. And E stands for what? East. Okay? So east, west, north, south. What do you call those? They're called what? Different what? Different? Correct. They're called direction, okay? Or directions, okay? So if you read it word by word, you say direction. But usually in American English, you don't say directions, you say directions, okay? So you say it kind of fast. Please repeat, directions. Directions. Okay, well, you see this. I'm sure you've seen this one and probably used it before. And it's called, in English, what do you call it? It's called, and you may ask, why are you talking about this when you're going to read about rice? Well, you'll find out why broom is related to rice, okay? So please repeat, rice, broom. Broom. So this is called broom. And look at the spelling, B-R-O-O-M, broom. Okay. Now, what about this one? The picture may not tell you everything, but this is what we call dirt or soil. So what you see outside is what? Dirt or soil. That's where you plant trees, you plant bushes, you grow things on soil or dirt. Okay? Please repeat. Dirt. Dirt. Soil. Soil. Now, look at these pictures. They don't look very, very, very attractive, but they are there. What do you call these? They're called what? They're not very friendly. Some of them are not very friendly, but what do you call them in English? They're not animals, okay? Please don't call them that. And they're not flies. So they're called what? The whole group is called what? They're called, right, insects, okay? Please repeat, insects. Insects. One is insect, but all of them are called what? Insects, the whole group, insects. I showed you this picture before, but I want you to see whether you remember it or not. And what do you call this? Right. It's called sandals, okay? Sandals. And I'm sure that you have seen this one and you probably have it in your home or probably sitting on it right now. And what do you call that in English? It's called rug. Rug. And some people call it area rug, a smaller one that you put in small area rug, or just called rug. Okay? So please repeat, rug. Rug. Okay, what do you call this in English? It's called roof. Roof. There are two pronunciations for this. Some Americans pronounce it the way exactly I pronounce it, roof. But some people from the East, they pronounce it roof. Both of them are correct. Roof or roof. But more standard pronunciation is what? Roof. So please repeat, roof. Roof. Now we have a whole list of words, and I want you to put all of those words together and some more. I want you to repeat these words after me together, and then I will read the passage for you 2 times, and then you will answer questions. Please repeat after me together. Fertilizer. Fertilizer. Main. Main. Kind. Kind. Animal feed. Animal feed. Probably. Probably. Poison. Poison. Enemy. Enemy. Upland. Upland. Scientist. Scientist. Soil. Soil. Now let's look at the meaning of these words, okay? So the first one, fertilizer. What does fertilizer mean? I think we studied this before in relation to oranges, or orange trees, but I want to see if you remember it. Fertilizer means what? Fertilizer simply means plant food. So for trees, bushes, flowers, vegetables, you need to put something to make them grow and look healthier and give you more fruit and more vegetables. So that's called what? Fertilizer. Okay? It's plant food. Main means what? Main simply means what? The most important. Like the main person, the most important person. The main road, the busiest road, the most important road. The main director, the most important director. The main food, the most important food. So main simply means what? Most important. Kind has two meanings, or probably more. Sometimes kind simply means what? Nice. Like you say that Umaid is a kind man. It means what? He's a nice man. So he's kind. So that's what. But in this story that we are going to study, kind does not mean nice. It simply means type. Okay? Type. Like there are different kinds of computers. Like there's a laptop, that I have this PC. There's a desktop, these big ones. There is Apple computer. So these are called what? Different types of computer, different kinds of computer. Or there are different kinds of fruits, for example. There's dry fruit, for example. There's what? There's also fresh fruits. Within the dry fruit, we have a lot of different kinds. So kind simply means what? Type. The plural is what? Kinds. Okay? So with rice, there are different kinds of rice. Animal feed is food for animal. The things that animals eat is called animal feed. Feed, as it's also it's a noun and it's also a verb. As a verb means give food to, like you feed a baby, you feed a dog, you feed a cat. They can't eat by themselves. You provide food for them. But feed also means what? Food, simply. Okay? Like animal feed means the food that animals eat. Number 5, probably. Probably means very strong possibility. Means possibly, but very, very strong possibility. Like you see the sky, there's a lot of clouds, and it is cold, and it is windy, and you could say what? It will probably rain. Means what? There is a strong possibility that it will rain. Probably. Please repeat. Probably. Poison. Poison, I believe we also studied this before, but I'm bringing it back to your attention. Poison simply means what? Something that can hurt or kill animals, plants, or people. Okay? So poison could be in the form of a powder. Poison could be in the form of liquid. Poison could take any form. But poison is something that what? Kill animal or plants. Like people that they have mice in their garage or in their home, they put poison for them. So the mice eat that and they die. Excuse me. Please repeat. Poison. Poison. Number 7, enemy. Enemy simple means what? A person or an insect or something that can hurt or kill. Okay? And basically hurt or kill you is your enemy. For example, sometimes people have enemies. Afghanistan, the country, has a lot of enemies. It's surrounded by all these countries that they want to hurt Afghanistan. So these countries are what? Not friends of Afghanistan. They are enemies. Remember in the 80s, the Russians came and they they displaced 5 million people and killed millions others. Russia was not a friend. Russia was what? An enemy. And to this day, Russia is what? An enemy of Afghanistan. So these countries, our enemy could be a person. The person who wants to hurt you. That's your enemy. the person who doesn't want you to make progress in your life. That's your enemy. But enemy could also be what? Could be an insect. An insect that comes and bites you and hurts you. That's your enemy. So please repeat. Enemy. Enemy. Upland. Upland simply means what? The land that's above the sea level. Okay. Scientists, I showed you a picture. People that they go to the lab or they research, they investigate, and they want to find new things or test new things. Scientist. Please repeat. Scientist. One scientist, two scientists. Two scientists. Put the S there. And then number 10 is what? Soil. Soil simply means what? Simply means dirt. Okay? Dirt. Soil, dirt. It's just when you go and plant something, you plant it in the soil. You plant it in dirt. Okay. Now, please repeat these words one more time, and then I'm going to give you the focus questions. Please repeat. Fertilizer. Fertilizer. Main. Main. Kind. Kind. Animal feed. Animal feed. Probably. Probably. Poison. Poison. Enemy. Enemy. Upland. Upland. Scientist. Scientist. Soil. Soil. Now, let's go to the next page. Next page are focus questions. I have 3 questions for you. I'm going to read something for you, and then I want you to answer these 3 questions or listen for the answer for these questions. Listen, the passage is long. You don't have to know everything. If you can find the answer for these 3 questions, it means you have learned a lot. The question is this: what kind of plant is rice? Remember, there are different kinds of plants. There are different types of plants. In the reading, I'm going to read what kind of plant is rice. To what family does rice? There are different families of plants. So I will tell you to what family rice belongs. So I want you to listen and tell me to what family of plants does rice belong. Okay? Number 2, how many kinds of rice are there? What do you think? 2 kinds of rice, 3 kinds of rice, 10 kinds of rice, 100 kinds of rice? You will be surprised to know that there are so many kinds of rice. And I will read the passage, so listen to it, and you will learn that today. I'm sure all of you that you're listening to me, you have eaten rice, but you probably didn't know how many kinds of rice we have in the world. Number 3, how do farmers kill insects? Remember insects, I showed you a picture, those things that they come and bite. They bite people, they are on plants, and they hurt the plant, they kill the plant, they can kill human beings. Like a bee is a kind of insect, a wasp is a kind of insect, a fly is a kind of insect. So all of these are what? Hurting people or hurting plants. So how do farmers kill them? So I'm going to read something for you, and then you're going to answer. So let's listen to the first reading. You will listen to me, and then you will answer the questions. Again, the questions are the same. What kind of plant is rice? How many kinds of rice are there? How do farmers kill insects? So again, I'm going to read something a little bit long, but don't worry about the length or how long it is. What you need to worry is this: can you find the answers for these 3 questions? If you do, then this is great. And then after I finish reading this, I will read it twice. I'll ask you more questions and see whether you can answer them or not. So please listen. People all over the world eat rice. Millions of people in Asia, Africa, and South America eat it every day of their lives. Some people eat rice almost every day and they eat nothing but rice. Rice is a kind of grass. There are more than 7,000 kinds of rice. Farmers grow rice in many countries, even in southern part of the United States and in eastern Australia. No one really knows where rice came from. Some scientists think that it started to grow in two places. They think one kind of rice grew in southern Asia thousands of years ago. Someone in China wrote about rice almost 5,000 years ago. Another kind probably grew in West Africa. Other scientists think that rice came from India, and Indian travelers took it to other parts of the world. There are two main ways to grow rice. Upland rice grows in dry soil. Moose rice grows in wet soil. People in many countries do all of the work of growing rice by hand. This is the same way farmers worked hundreds of years ago. In some countries, people use machines on their rice farms. The farmers also use fertilizers. Some insects are enemies of rice. Farmers poison them. People use every part of the rice plant. They make animal feed and rice oil from it. They also make baskets, brooms, rugs, sandals, and roofs for their houses from rice plant. They burn dry rice plants in fires for cooking. So basically, every part of rice plant is used. That's why it is popular. You don't waste anything from rice plant. Okay? Now, this was reading number 1. I'm going to read one more time, and I hope that you will find the answers for these 3 questions by the end of the second reading. Listen again. People all over the world eat rice. Millions of people in Asia, Africa, and South America eat it every day of their lives. Some people eat almost nothing but rice. Rice is a kind of grass. There are more than 7,000 kinds of rice. Farmers grow rice in many countries, even the southern part of the United States and in eastern Australia. No one really knows where rice came from. Some scientists think that it started to grow in two places. They think that one kind of rice grew in southern Asia thousands of years ago. Someone in China wrote about rice almost 5,000 years ago. Another kind probably grew in West Africa. Other scientists think that rice came from India, and Indian travelers took it to other parts of the world. There are two main ways to grow rice. Upland rice grows in dry soil. Moose rice grows in wet soil. People in many countries do all of the work of growing rice by hand. This is the same way farmers worked hundreds of years ago. In some countries, people use machines on rice farms. The farmers also use fertilizer. Some insects are enemies of rice. Farmers poison those insects. People use every part of the rice plant. They make animal feed and rice oil from it. They also make baskets, brooms, rugs, sandals, and roofs for their houses. They burn dry rice plants and fires for cooking. Now that I read it the second time, let's see if you have the correct answers for these questions. Question number 1. What kind of plant is rice? In other words, to what family does rice belong? So what's your answer? The correct answer is rice is a kind of grass. So in plantology, plants belong to different families. There are different categories. So this is what? Grass is one category. So rice is a kind of grass. Okay? So we basically, when you eat rice, you basically eat some kind of a grass. How many kinds of rice are there? Remember the number I read? It's just surprising. When I made this lesson and I looked at the number, I was surprised to know that what? There are 7,000 rice, or kinds of rice. How do farmers kill insects? Remember, insects are the one that they come and they hurt the plant, rice plant. They basically kill the plant, and the farmers cannot grow rice. So what do farmers do with those insects? How do farmers kill the plants? They do what? Farmers poison them. Means what? Kill them by putting a substance in the water, or pour it or spray it on them, and those insects die as a result of that. So farmers poison them. If you poison something or someone, you basically kill that person or you hurt that person. So let me read the questions and the answers, and then we will continue with more questions. Question number 1. What kind of plant is rice? The correct answer is rice is a kind of grass. In other words, rice belongs to the grass family. How many kinds of rice are there? The answer is there are more than 7,000 kinds of rice. Number 3, how do farmers kill insects? They simply what? Poison them. I have more questions for you. So this time there are 10 questions actually. So what I want you to do is this. Write T if the sentence is true. Write F if the sentence is false. Write NI if there is no information about the sentence in the text. Remember, I read something to you. So if based on what you heard, if the sentence is correct, you write T, it means correct, right. You write F if what? The sentence is not right, incorrect. If I say, for example, there are 6,000 types of rice, you say what? F, because I said 7,000. NI is something new today. Means if I read something to you that I didn't give you the information, you say what? No information. For example, if I say that all Afghans love rice, I didn't read this to you. We don't know. There may be some Afghans that they do not like rice or they do not love rice. So what do you say? You say NI, means no information. I didn't read it to you. Okay? So the answers you give must be based on what you heard, not what you know. Okay? That's the thing. So sentence number 1. Let me read the 5 sentences for you first, and then you will see which one you choose as true or false or NI, no information. Number 1, rice is a kind of grass. True or false? Number 2, rice grows on dry land and in wet soil. True or false? Number 3, all scientists think that rice came from India. Number 4, rice grows in Mexico. True, false, or NI? Number 5, there are more than 7,000 kinds of rice. True, false, or NI? Now let's look at sentence number 1. Rice is a kind of grass. Is that true, false, or no information? The correct answer is true. I read it for you. It is what? That it belongs to the grass family. So in other words, Rice is a kind of grass. Number 2, rice grows on dry land and in wet soil. Did I read that to you? Is this true, false, or no information? The correct answer is true. It's upland and also it is dry land and also wetland. I read that to you. Number 3, all scientists think that rice came from India. Do all scientists think or some scientists think? Does rice really come from India? Is it only one theory or more than one theory? Think about that. Think about what I read. The correct answer is false. Not all scientists think. Some scientists say that probably, possibly, it came from India. But we don't know this for sure. Number 4, rice grows in Mexico. Did I read that to you? Is this true, false, or no information? The correct answer is N.I. I never even mentioned Mexico. I said South America, and Mexico is not in South America. Mexico is in North America. 3 countries in North America: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And so I never talked about North America, so there's no information. There are more than 7,000 kinds of rice, and I believe I kept saying this. That's what? The true statement. So let's go to the next page. The next page, there are 5 sentences here. I will read the sentences first to give you time to think, and then you'll go and see which one is true and which one is false. Sentence number 6. Maybe Chinese travelers took rice to India. True, false, or N.I.? Number 7. More people grow rice with machines than by hand. True, false, or no information? Number 8. Farmers use fertilizer to kill insects. True, false, or no information? Number 9. Chinese farmers need more fertilizer than Indian farmers. Is that correct or not correct? Actually, it is Chinese farms need more fertilizer than Indian farm. Is that correct, not correct, or no information? And number 10, people use every part of the rice plant. Is that the way I read it for you? True, false, or no information? So let's look at sentence number 6. Maybe Chinese travelers took rice to India. Is that right? Did the Chinese take the rice to India, or did the Indians take it to Chinese? It's false. They say Indians took it to other parts of the world, not Chinese. One Chinese person wrote about rice 5,000 years ago, but it doesn't. I didn't read it that the Chinese took it to other parts of the world. Sentence number 7. More people grow rice with machines than by hand. Is it true, false, or no information? The correct answer is false. The opposite is true. More people grow rice by hand than by machine, even today. Number 9. Farmers use fertilizer to kill insects. Do farmers use fertilizer to kill insects? Did I read that? Please say no. Because farmers use what? Farmers use poison to kill insects. Fertilizer is not a poison. Fertilizer is something useful. It's plant food. So they don't use plant food to kill insects. Number 9. Chinese farms need more fertilizer than Indian farm. Did I read that to you? Please say no. Because there is no information. We don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows probably. That what? Nobody probably did the research to find out which farms need more fertilizer than the other one. Probably they need equal amount of fertilizer. Number 10. People use every part of the rice plant. And that's what? A true statement. They make what? They make broom from the plant. They make rugs from plants. They make sandals from the plant. They also make animal feed from plant. And then those parts that they cannot use, they burn it to cook with it, to cook food or to warm their homes. So every part of the rice plant is usable. That's why it is so popular in the world. Many times we use things, and then there are so many things that we cannot use from the plant. Like you get a cucumber, for example, you peel it. A lot of the cucumber is gone because of the peel. But for this one, everything is used. Okay, I certainly hope that you got most of your answers correct. What I have for you now next about this is what? The reading itself. So we will read this together, and so that you get all the information, you see the words, and then we will have discussions, questions about the passage. Rice. People all over the world eat rice. Millions of people in Asia, Africa, and South America eat it every day of their lives. Some people eat almost nothing but rice. Rice is a kind of grass. A kind of grass means what? It belongs to the grass family. There are more than 7,000 kinds of rice. Farmers grow rice in many countries, even in southern part of the United States and in eastern Australia. No one really knows where rice came from. Some scientists think that it started to grow in two places. They think that one kind of rice grew in southern Asia thousands of years ago. Someone in China wrote about it almost 5,000 years ago. Another kind probably grew in West Africa. Other scientists think that rice came from India, and Indian travelers took it to other parts of the world. There are two main ways to grow rice. Upland rice grows in dry soil. Moist rice grows in wet soil. People in many countries do all of the work of growing rice by hand. This is the same way farmers worked hundreds of years ago. In some countries, people use machines on the rice farms. The farmers also use fertilizer. Some insects are enemies of rice. Farmers poison them. People use every part of the rice plant. They make animal feed and rice oil from it. They also make baskets, brooms, rugs, sandals, and roofs for their houses. They burn dry rice plants and fires for cooking. So this is the end of the reading part of it. So I have some questions for you, and these are called discussions questions. So some of them are actually discussions questions, others maybe what? To again test your comprehension of how much you remember. Again, discussion means you talk about it, I can hear you, but I expect that what? You answer the questions loud enough that you can hear it yourself if you're alone. If you're sitting with another person or other people in the house or in the room, then please say it loud enough, talk to one another, and use the words and the sentences, and this way we can practice English. So one thing for learning a language, or any language, not just English, one thing is to hear it, get a lot of input. But you can get input for the rest of your life. You have to use it to be able to what? To learn it. So I really want you, I give you input. You listen, but you need to use it. Okay, even if you're alone, you can answer my questions, and this way you can practice English. So here are questions. Do you like rice dishes? Rice dishes means the things that you make from rice. So what kind of dishes do you make from rice? We have what? In Farsi, we make what? The white rice, which is chalao. You can also make what? Make it brown, you make it what? Palau. You can make it qabli palau. You can make it what? Shola. You can make it shola or bandi. You can go on and on and on. So these are different types of dishes from rice. You can also make other things, soup from it. Chinese have a variety, and Koreans, a variety of dishes from rice. So do you like rice dishes? Yes or no? Why? Number 2, how often do you eat rice? How often means how many times, let's say how many times a week? Do you eat it every day of the week? 3 times a week? 4 times a week? Answer my question. Question number 3. Can you cook rice yourself? There are people that they love rice, but they can't cook it. I'm one of those people. Are you one of those people? Can you cook rice? If you can, then congratulations. You should be proud of yourself. So, can you cook it? What kind of rice can you cook? The white one or the brown one or other types? Number 4. What is your favorite rice dish? So among all these dishes, like the white rice, which is the chalao and the palau and qabli palau and shola, which one is your favorite one? There may be other types, I can't remember the name right now. So those of you that you know other types, you can always call me and tell me that my information is not complete. There are other kinds, so please let me know. I could add that to my list. But which one is your favorite? Favorite means what? The one that you like very much. Okay? The one that you like very much. Which one is the one that you like very much? For example, my favorite rice dish is what? Qabli palau. Is that your also favorite dish, or you have some other kinds of rice that you like? Number 5. Does Afghanistan produce rice? The country, Afghanistan, our country, does it produce rice? Does it make rice, produce rice, grows rice? Do you know that? Okay, so let's see if you have the answers for these questions. If somebody asks you this, do you like rice dishes? What will be your answer? How can you answer? You could say what? Yes, I like rice dishes. Or you say what? No, I don't like rice dishes. Which one is your answer? And again, if you say yes, I like rice dishes, and they will ask you, which rice dishes do you like? Then you have to name it, like you say qabli palau or chala or shola or whatever. So, what do you like rice dishes? That's what it means. How often do you eat rice? How often? How many times? Do you eat it every day? 3 days a week? 4 days a week? What's your answer? If you ask me, how often do I eat rice? I eat rice every night. If I don't eat rice, I feel like I have eaten nothing. Okay? So rice is the main dish. Okay? So how often do you now? Can you tell me that? Can you say you eat it 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, or like me, 7 times a week? Number 3, can you cook rice yourself? You could say what? Yes, I can cook rice by myself. Or no, I cannot cook rice by myself. In my case, if you ask me, no, I love rice, but unfortunately, I cannot cook rice by myself. I need to get some training. Number 4, what's your favorite rice dish? What's your favorite rice dish? You say, my favorite rice dish is blank. You name that. You could say, my favorite rice dish is shola, or my favorite rice dish is naranj palau, or my favorite rice dish is qabli palau, whatever. So rice dish, favorite. What's yours? Can you name it? Does Afghanistan produce rice? I don't know this for sure, but I can say that what? Yes, Afghanistan does produce rice, but we do bring rice from other parts of the world as well. Okay, let me read these questions again and we will go to the next page. Do you like rice dishes? How often do you eat rice? Can you cook rice yourself? What is your favorite rice dish? Does Afghanistan produce rice? The last page here about rice is rice a staple food in your country? That's when you talk to Americans here or native speakers of English, they ask you this. Is rice a staple food? A staple food is what? The main food, the most important food that everybody eats it. I believe that what? It is a staple food. But I want to hear from you. Is rice a staple food in Afghanistan, in your country? What are the benefits of eating rice? What is the benefit? Does it help us? Is it helpful? Is it healthy? That's the question. Number 8, is eating rice healthy or unhealthy? You tell me. Healthy means what? It's good for your health. Unhealthy means what? It's not good for your health. Number 9, who shouldn't eat rice? Are there people that they shouldn't eat rice? Number 10, why is rice popular all over the world? Why is rice popular all over the world? Popular means what? Well liked. Means people all over the world like rice. Is that correct? Do all people all over the world like rice? That's the question that you're going to answer and you're going to discuss. Again, the main purpose of this is what? You don't have to tell me the truth about this. All I want you is what? To practice. Say something. Answer my question. Is rice a staple food in Afghanistan? What is your answer? So you could say, what? Yes, rice is a staple food in Afghanistan. Or no, rice is not a staple food in Afghanistan. So people, when you talk to your neighbors, when you talk to your coworkers, when you talk to your friends who speak English, they ask you this: what is the staple food in your country? What is the staple food in Afghanistan? The staple food means what? The most important, the main dish. I think rice is what? The staple food in Afghanistan. Your answer may be different, and that's fine. All we want to do here is what? Practice English. Number 7, what are the benefits of eating rice? What are the benefits? If you ask me, then I will say what? It has different kinds of what? Vitamins that you can't find in other food. So in that sense, it gives you the vitamins that you need. It's good for you. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor, but not medical doctor. So I really don't know. If you're a medical doctor, or you're a nurse, or you're a nutritionist, and you know this, please call and let us know, let the whole viewers know that what are the benefits of eating rice? It's a very good question. A lot of you probably know a lot more about rice than I do. Number 8, is eating rice healthy or unhealthy? I think it is healthy, at least it's healthy for me. But you could answer this question, I think eating rice is healthy, or I think eating rice is not healthy. Either way is correct, no preference. Who shouldn't eat rice? There are people that they have problems like diabetes, for example. Rice has a lot of sugar in it. So those people probably should not eat as much rice as they want. But that's that one group. But if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a nutritionist, and you know the answer for a fact, for sure, please call us. Let us know that these people that have this problem should not eat rice. I don't know that, but you probably do. Number 10, why is rice popular all over the world? What is your answer? Rice is popular because what? It's not very expensive, probably. Rice is not popular because it's easy to cook. I don't know that, but it looks like some people prepare it in half an hour, so it's easy to cook. But what is your answer? You could say rice is popular all over the world because, I would say, because it's easy to cook. Rice is popular all over the world because it's not expensive. So these could be what? 2 reasons why rice is popular all over the world. Let me read these questions one more time, and then you will go to the next page. Is rice a staple food in your country? See, staple is a new word for you, and that simply means what? the main food, the most important food, that everybody have access to it and eat it. What are the benefits of eating rice? Is eating rice healthy or unhealthy? Who shouldn't eat rice? Why is rice popular all over the world? I do have another section that I wanted to teach today, but unfortunately, because of time, I will not be able to do that because our time is almost up. I look at the time and it's almost the time that I have to start my live program right now. So I'll have to stop here. So your homework is what? To review all these lessons. And as I mentioned over and over and over again, that these lessons are available on YouTube. You could have access to them. Dr. Irshad and I have will make every effort to make these lessons available for you, inshallah, in May or sometimes in June, so that if those of you that you want to have a copy of this at home, you will have all these lessons at your, you will have access to all of them on a DVD. We will try to make them as soon as we are sure that they are in good shape, or we review them and edit them. So it will take us a couple of months. But other than that, until that happens, please review, and practice. بیننده های بسیار محترم تلویزیون ایمان، درس امروز ما به همینجا به پایان رسید. تا هفته آینده شما را به خداوند متعال میسپارم. تشکر.